when all that shifting is happening. So today we're going to work on physical balance. As we do that, I would love for you to come near a wall or even bring a chair next to you and just use that chair for some stability. It's really important to work on stabilizing our body. So if you're trying to go into a balancing posture and you're trying to stand on one leg but you're falling all over the place, that just creates more chaos. That just creates more stress. That creates this mental place of, I'm failing, this isn't working, frustration. So find a place, find some kind of modification or adjustment. Again, using a wall, using a chair, depending on where you're at, and utilize those tools that we have today. There's, a time and a place to really bring challenge, and then there's a time and a place to just surrender to what is. And so if you're not quite, if you're not balanced mentally, emotionally, situationally, then your physical balance might be a little more off. And so if you need that support, find that support today in class. So let's go ahead and just take a couple breaths. At the end of class, we're also going to end with a mudra. So please stick with us for the Shavasana and then the ending meditation. Grounding through the sit bones, connect to the base of the floor. Take a moment to find your breath, find your full body scan, bringing full awareness into yourself. Mentally, physically, emotionally, notice where you're at. Just do a full check-in here. Feeling each vertebra stacking on top of each other. We bring that little bit of lift and length through the torso, but organically. So we don't want to pop the chest out or create any tension in the body. Take a moment to just watch and feel your inhale and exhale. Notice if that is fast or slow, shallow or deep. And then just connecting a little bit more with that breath, bringing a little bit of control into it. As we inhale, drawing the breath through the nose, feeling the belly, the ribs, the chest expand, finding full capacity of the lungs. So it's almost like a three-part breath: belly, ribs, chest. As we exhale, letting go of all the breath. So the chest, the ribs, the belly have this contraction. They come in, they squeeze the breath out. And allowing the breath throughout the practice today to be that stability anchor. Allow the breath to bring you back to the present. Anytime you find your mind wandering, especially with balancing again, sometimes we find that balancing is more difficult because the mind starts going off on a tangent. Finding an inhale, take both arms up above. And then bringing one hand down towards the shoulder while reaching the opposite arm high towards the ceiling and just switching directions. So here we just create this little bit of movement through the ribs and the side bodies, getting into our flanks, those big muscles on the side of the low back, also known as the QL. Just kind of finding your own rhythm here, making this movement, just as big as it feels comfortable. We'll stay with that stretch in the side body. Take the left hand down towards the floor and extend the right arm over. Just keep it gentle. Again, notice the side body. As the right arm comes over, getting into the ribs, into the obliques, a little bit of the connection down through the outer edge of the hip. Finding our inhale, rising up, bringing that right hand down, and left arm comes up and over. Again, breathing into the low back, breathing into the sides. Feel the head for a moment. Notice where it feels best. And then inhaling, coming to center, sweep both arms back up. As we exhale, take the left hand behind you, right hand over to the left knee. Find a little length and lift here, nice gentle twist. Draw the shoulders down, heart lifting. And then finding the inhale, take both arms back up. Exhale to switch. Again, heart open, use the arms. Try to let that back hand just be there for stability. So we don't want to collapse on the back hand. We want to keep that lengthening. And then inhale, come back to center. Now we're just going to move with our breath. So this is our inhale. Exhale, gentle twist. Open the heart. Inhale, center. Exhale, gentle twist. Inhale, center. Twist. Just going with your own pace of your own breath. And then we find that inhale, back to center, arms extend high. Exhale, walk the hands out in front, taking our really gentle fold forward, melting into the heart, bowing the head. Breathing into the low back, breathing into your entire body. And we'll find our way to all fours, tabletop position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Moving through a few cat-cows. As we inhale, softening the belly towards the floor. Head and sit bones lift. Exhale to round, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, press through the spine. Take a couple rounds here. So we find this awakening into the front and back body, this movement and awakening into the spine. Feel free to incorporate any other small organic movement if you want to get into the hips, side bodies a little bit, always an option. And then finding our way back to neutral, we'll take those knees just a little wider apart. And finding child's pose, glutes heavy towards the heels, arms extend out. Forehead down towards the floor. Breathing into the entire back body, breathing into the hips, the hip flexors and quads. Finding an inhale, coming back to center, back to all fours. And then spreading our fingers, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And it's the first downward facing dog. Incorporate little bits of movement. Maybe pedal the legs if you want to bend both knees. Take a little rocking motion with the hips. Take a little yes or no with the head, releasing tension from the neck, the shoulders. Any of that's a good option. Finding our next exhale, drawing the feet towards the top of the mat, however you get them there. Bringing some length into the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, soften and fold. Let the head be heavy. Maybe heel toe your feet just a tiny bit wider apart. If you want to grab hold of elbows or forearms, let your body sway a little bit from side to side. Keep the knees bent as much as you need them to be to support the low back. And then releasing any hold you have. Pull the belly button in towards the spine and slowly roll to standing. So once we get up, draw the shoulders down and back. Take a moment here, close the eyes, connect to your breath. Finding our half salutation, inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, take it through, gentle back bend, heart lift, shoulders pull back. Inhale, center. Exhale, swan dive through, hinge at the hips. Halfway lift on the inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale to fold, strong legs, rise tall, arms sweep out and up. Bring the hands to the heart, let's move through that again. Inhale to come up. Exhale as we open. Inhale, center. Swan dive it through. Halfway lift. And fold. All the way up, arms sweep out and up. Bring the hands back to heart. So we're going to inhale if you need to, find that wall, arms sweep up, and then lifting off of the heels. So the fingertips extend high, shoulders back. So finding this nice balance, feel that engagement through the legs. We're on the toes and the ball of the feet. As we exhale, we're going to release hands to the heart and just bend the knees a little bit, come into a nice gentle chair. So we're squatting down, knees are in alignment with the toes facing forward. Keep the pelvic area nice and neutral. Taking the left arm, extend it straight back as you reach the right arm forward. Here's the thing, we want to keep that right hip even with the left, or left hip even with the right. So as you're reaching the left arm back, try not to let that left hip pull back. Keep those hips directly forward so that the movement is coming belly button and above. Feel the work of the mid and upper back. Feel the obliques and the abs. Bring the hands back to heart. And switch. Right arm back, left arm extends forward. Check in with your hips. So both those knees are even with each other. Gaze can be slightly forward or kind of out to the right as well. Breathe. Make sure that that right hip isn't pulling back. Come back to center, hands to heart. With your exhale, take it through your fold. Notice the work and heat that you just had in the quads. Halfway lift on the inhale. Bring the hands back to the mat. Step your feet back, find plank. So we're in the top of the push-up, wrists directly under the shoulders. Quads stay nice and strong. We can always lower knees and tilt the hips slightly forward. I'm going to stay here with my modified. Pull the elbows into the ribs and lower chin and chest down to the floor. So triceps are strong. Come all the way down. Tops of the feet glue to the floor. Quads are engaged. Pull the kneecaps off the mat. With the inhale, pushing the heart forward, legs stay active. Exhale to lower. 2 more of these little baby or rolling cobras. Inhaling to lift. Exhale to lower. Bhujangasana cobra. Inhaling to lift. Exhale to lower. Find your way to all fours, tabletop. So sitting back onto the heels for a moment. If you can't do this, just stay here on all fours. We're going to move through this pretty quickly. So coming into or finding a moon salutation, 1 breath each movement. We'll do this together nice and slow this first round, and then we'll do 2 more, kind of really incorporating that 1 breath. As we inhale, lifting up off of the knees, or off the heels. So that's our inhale, we lift and lengthen. With the exhale, little bit of core engagement. Lowering down, hips come towards the heels, and we lower into child's pose. Knees are pretty close together. So that's our exhale. As we inhale, we're going to pull ourselves forward and find cobra. So that's our lift. And then with the exhale, we're going to float back to downward facing dog. So hips lift high on that exhale. Inhale, come to all fours. Exhale, sit back onto the heels, hands to the heart. Again, if you can't do that, just stay there for your exhale. So let's move through it a little bit faster. I know it's hard to keep track when we're talking so much. Inhale, lifting up, arms come up. Exhale, hips come back, we lower down. Inhale, pulling through, we find this nice cobra, so that's 1 inhale. As you exhale, we find our way back, downward facing dog. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, hands to heart. One more round. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pull through, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, sit back onto the heels, hands to heart, take a breath. We can release hands down to the thighs. So Vajrasana, hero's pose, where we're sitting on the heels, is set to bring the natural curve into the spine. Again, modification would be just resting in all fours. From here, we'll go ahead and find our way to all fours if you're not there already. Spread the fingers, tuck the toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take a moment here, connect to the hands, connect to the feet. So notice the right hand, the left hand. Notice the right foot, the left foot. Find the balance between all four of those placements. All four of the things here connecting to the floor. 2 hands, 2 feet. Feel the length in the spine. Feel the arms and the legs actively working. Find your exhale, draw the feet to the top of the mat. Halfway lift on the inhale and fold. Take a breath or 2 here. Keep the head heavy. So gravity doing this job of decompressing the upper back. And then we slowly roll to standing. Pull the belly button in. Shoulders down and back. Close the eyes. Breathe in here. Connect to the feet equally, right, left, front, back. Take a moment to open the eyes. Find something to take your gaze, your focus point to. Keep your right foot down, and then lifting the left leg so it's just about parallel to the floor. Again, use the wall if you need to. Just place that left hand or right hand on the wall. Take the hands, interlace them, bring them around the left knee, and now lift it a little higher. Squeeze it in. Keep the shoulders back and the heart open. And then opening that knee to the left so you can feel all this engagement through the legs. Bring that left leg back to center. See if you can take the right hand to the left knee. And then maybe even move that left arm back, and maybe even move the gaze as well. So again, check in here physically, mentally, emotionally. Come back to center. Gracefully release. Shake those legs out a little bit. Really important that we stay with that breath. Settling into that stillness, we have to keep that flow of energy happening through the body. Take a clearing breath, let go of any assumptions or expectations here. And then ground through the left. Just lifting the right leg. So that right leg, thigh about parallel to the floor if you can. Hold onto the wall if you need. Lots of work through the hip flexor. And then interlace hands, see if you can bring that right knee a little bit in. Nice little hug. We'll open the right up to the right. Left hand can come out to the side. And then coming back to center. Left hand to that right knee. And then work on moving that right arm back. And maybe looking opposite or looking towards the right. Good, so come back to center, slowly release. Shake those legs out a little bit. I know that's a lot of work through those hip flexors. Find an inhale, sweep arms high. Exhale. Exhale through that back bend, heart opens. Inhale, center. Swan dive through, hinge the hips, lead with the heart. Halfway lift on the inhale. Good, bring the hands to the mat, step your feet back, find your plank. So again, that top of our push-up. Lower knees if you need, take a full breath. With our exhale, we're gonna lower either knees to the chest or take it through your chaturanga. Come all the way down, push into the feet. Quads are strong, lifting the heart forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale as we lower. As you inhale, float up, all fours or push up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Finding an inhale, take your right leg, reach it behind, and then bend into the right knee and open up the hip here. So that right hip is opening towards the right. Maybe rotate foot, ankle, wiggle toes. Stay active through both the arms and notice that left leg, really strong lengthening. As you exhale, lunge. Take a moment here, get into that left inner thigh and hip flexor, left quad. This is where a block can always come into handy. So if you need to, find your block, use your block to bring the floor to you, find that little lift. One more breath here, getting that nice stretch through that left. And then however it works, pull your left foot up to meet your right. Halfway lift, lengthen, fold, roll to standing. Soften knees, pull belly button in. One vertebra at a time. Shoulders down and back. Reconnect, ground here. So we're finding this nice balance between fire and moon or sun and moon energy, which is Hatha Yoga. Ground down through the right foot. Left foot comes up, Vrikshasana or tree pose. So we can always keep the heel on the ankle, toe to the mat. We can work to our calf. We can work to our upper thigh. So wherever you're at, use your support if you need it, the wall. Stay with your breath and focus. Hands can come to heart. We can work on lifting and opening. Shoulders draw down. You can always tell what kind of day you're having when you get into these physical balance postures because they really challenge the mind. It's hard for the body to get still when the mind is going crazy, and it's hard for the mind to get quiet. Hands will come back to heart, and that's why we focus so much on that inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Take a moment, find your inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, gentle back and heart lifts. Inhale, center, swan dive through. Halfway lift. Good, step your feet back, find downward facing dog. My advanced people, go ahead and shift into your plank and take it through your vinyasa, your flow. So you're finding your chaturanga, cobra, up dog, if you know what that is, urdhva mukta. And find your inhale when you're ready. Left leg high, bending the left knee so that left hip opens up. Feel free, rotate foot, ankle, wiggle the toes a tiny bit. And then we'll pull that left foot forward towards the top of our mat for our low lunge. Scooch it forward as much as you need. Left knee should be stacking above that left ankle or heel. Lengthen through the torso. Use the block for a little extra lift. Bring the floor up towards you if you need. Good, one more breath here. And however you get there, bring your right foot up to meet the left. Halfway lift. Fold. Come all the way to standing, rolling up. Shoulders down and back. Close the eyes. Reconnect. Ground. Again, just like we practiced before, let go of assumptions. If the other side went great, guess what? This side might not, or vice versa. Maybe this side will be perfect in your description of perfect for you. Find your focus, find your support if you need. Left foot stays down, right comes up. Maybe rest heel on the ankle. If that's enough for you today, stay there. Find your balance. Maybe bring that foot to the calf or work to the upper thigh. Take a moment, connect to that standing foot, connect to the breath. Hands can come to heart. We can also work on lifting and opening, shoulders draw back, breathe. And we stay here a little longer, offering that little extra challenge. And we'll find the hands back to the heart if they're not there already. Release that right. Shake the legs out a little bit. Move into your hips. Find your inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale through, little back bend, heart opens. Inhale, center. Exhale, swan dive through, heart leads you down. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Or take it through your vinyasa, the advanced people, move through your flow, find your plank. Finding our way down to all fours, so down to tabletop. Right leg is going to extend straight back. Press into the right heel. Keep those hips even with each other. So we don't want that right hip popping any higher than the left. Toes should be pointing straight down. From here, work on taking the left arm out in front. So right leg is back, left arm extending forward. If that's too much, keep the left hand down. So this is a really great practice. It's very similar when they talk about using maybe the opposite or non-dominant hand to eat or brush your teeth. It retrains your brain. This is really great for balancing the body and the brain. Go ahead and release. Take a moment and switch sides. Left leg straight back, press into the left heel. Left toes straight down. This obviously is a nice core workout as well, creates that core connection, that little internal fire. Breathe. We keep that right arm really active, the left leg really active. Again, if you're wobbling or falling all over, place the right hand back down. We'll release, hand and knee, down to the floor. Find your way back to child's pose. Wherever that's comfortable for you, knees can come really wide or close together. If you want to take a moment to just kind of move around, massage that third eye center, that space between our brows, stimulating the pituitary gland. We can do that here as well. Taking one more breath here. Finding our way back to all fours, back to our tabletop, and exhaling back, downward facing dog. Again, take a moment. We spread the fingers, press through the webbing between the index and thumb, pulling the shoulder blades down the back, broadening the collarbone. As the hips lift high, maybe we press the heels down towards the mat, rotating inner thighs back. So imagine taking the inner thighs and pushing them back. Take one more breath here. Feel the entire body. And moving onto your seat. Legs will come straight out in front, finding Dandasana or staff pose. So we move the flesh away from the sit bones a little bit. If this is really difficult for you, if you have tight hamstrings and this feels impossible to sit straight up, bend the knees a little bit, or take a blanket, a towel, a block, anything you can. Bring it underneath you, find a little lift, and that'll take some of that tautness out of the hamstrings. So either way is totally fine. We're gonna keep the legs straight out in front. Engage the feet, engage the legs. Press the heels away from you, draw the toes towards you. As we inhale, arms will sweep high. Same thing, very similar to what we did right at the beginning of class. Left hand comes down behind, right hand over to the left leg. Open the heart towards the left. Breathe into the belly. So here's the thing. We want to make sure that our left hip isn't pulling back or open. So the hips should be directly forward, meaning those feet are nice and even with each other as we move into that twist. Back hand, you should be able to lift off of it. It's just there to help guide you through that twist, help to maintain that length. Finding an inhale, we'll take the arms straight up above and just take a full breath there. So feel the engagement. Fingertips lifting, crown of the head lifting. Sit bones, those bones under the glutes, pressing straight down. Heels extending straight out. Little core work, little hip flexor, and then as you exhale, we'll switch sides. Right comes behind, left comes over. Take a moment before you even twist. Make sure that you're nice and even, your hip isn't pulling back, and then work on that nice twist. Breathe into the belly. Find your inhale, come to center, arms extend high. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Pull the belly towards the thighs. If you need to bend the knees to do that, go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna come into our fold forward. Legs are still active. We're still pressing into the heels, still drawing the toes towards us as we surrender to that fold. Finding your inhale to come up, and then coming onto your back. Bringing the knees into the chest, maybe just give yourself a little hug, rock a little side to side or back and forth. We'll bring the feet down to the floor. So the right knee is going to come into the chest, left leg all the way down. Give that right knee a really nice squeeze. Rotate into your foot, your ankle, maybe wiggle the toes just a little bit. And then guiding that right over towards the left. Extending the right arm open and breathing into the twist. So if you have any sciatica or sciatic nerve issues, you want to be really gentle when we're in the supine, which means reclined or laying down, twist. So as you pull the knee over, keep it really, really gentle. The nice thing about the standing twist that we did today, or even the seated twist,
is we keep the hips really squared. When we're pulling the right knee over, the hips are no longer squared. And that's where we can get a little bit of irritation and a little bit more sensitivity into that sciatic nerve. So if you ever feel that, come out of it, release out of it a little bit. Maybe don't even take a twist. Maybe just cross the right slightly to the left, get a little bit into the hip. For those of you who don't have issues, you can go really deep into that, taking that right almost all the way down to the left, extending that right arm open, getting into the shoulder, armpit, upper breast area, that kind of seat of where all those lymph nodes sit in our body. If you want to take the head opposite of the knee, we can do that as well, stimulating the thymus, thyroid gland. So we'll find our inhale, come back to center. And then take the right hand to that right knee or shin and just pull the right knee slightly open. And that should feel really good through the inner thigh, a little bit of that hamstring as well. Bring the right knee back to center. Bring your left knee up, give it a nice little hug. Move into your low back, move into your hips. Keep the left knee into the chest, take the right leg all the way down. Give that left knee a nice squeeze. Rotate, get into your foot, your ankle, wiggle the toes just a little bit. And then we'll take that left over towards the right, where that works for you. Maybe extending the left arm open and just kind of feeling it out. One side usually different than the other. We talk about that, finding balance. Well, we are dominated by one side, and that can shift. Breathing into the belly. So the other thing that's awesome that comes with twisting, besides this detox and this opening up in our body, is we stimulate the third chakra. So we stimulate that solar plex area, and that area of our body is the place where our self-willpower sits. So we have that gut feeling or that gut intuition. That is the third chakra. That is our ability, or gives us the ability to say yes, to say no to the things that we really need. Sometimes ego gets in the way and we don't clearly understand what we're trying to be told, and we don't listen very well because the mind gets in the way. But the really great thing about twisting is we also get to stimulate that area. And that's huge when we're talking about balance and these shifts. We have these opportunities to create kind of a new journey here. We have these opportunities to manifest things that we really want to draw into our lives. We have an opportunity to reassess our relationships, and we can't do that if we're not listening to the truth, if we're not listening to ourselves. So twisting is awesome for that as well. Find an inhale, come back to center, take that left hand to the left knee, and we'll just open up, get into that inner thigh, into the groin area. Everything is attached, everything is connected. Bringing that left back to center. Take the right knee up to meet, give yourself a little hug. Finding the arms on the inside of the legs, we grab hold of our toes or feet for happy baby, keeping the low back pressing down. If you can't get your feet, grab hold of your kind of shins or grab your pant leg, maybe wrap your peace fingers around the big toe. Pushing your low back down towards the floor, so the sacrum pushes down. If you want to rock a little side to side, that will give you a little free low back massage, which usually feels great. And then releasing that hold, we'll take the feet to the floor, soles of the feet come together for just a moment or two. Give yourself a second to just get to that place of being still, of being silent. This is our last posture before our Shavasana. If you've taken class with me, we end a lot of classes with Happy Baby and then Supta Baddha Konasana, the pose we're in here, cobbler's pose. Bring the hands to the knees, slide the knees together. So take a moment if there's any other movements you need to do before you find your Shavasana, your resting pose. Remember, we're also going to come into a seated meditation after a moment or two of Shavasana. So if there's any other kind of little things you need, feel free to do that. It's your practice, listen to your body. And then if it feels better for your body, your low back, to keep the feet to the floor, knees lifted, we can do that as well for our resting pose. We can bring the knees kind of in towards each other. Otherwise, we take those legs all the way down to the floor. We let the feet just fall apart from each other. Close the eyes, arms can come down by the side. And just give yourself a moment here. Give yourself permission to set aside any internal commentary, distractions, stories, anything that you're attaching to. Just let it be and allow yourself to be soft and quiet. Notice what comes up for you. So there's a huge difference, I talk about this a lot, between having awareness and having attachment to those thoughts, to those patterns. So don't attach. Be aware and then come back to just that focus of feeling the breath, feeling your body supported by the earth. Slowly come back to your body, feeling the breath, maybe deepening the breath just to kind of wake up, come back to the present. Bring a little bit of movement into the toes, the fingers, maybe rotate the wrists, the ankles. Maybe sweeping the arms up, finding that nice general lengthening into the torso and the limbs. And we'll draw the knees back into the chest, give ourselves another little hug. If you'd like to roll to one side and then slowly press yourself up, you can do that. Otherwise, just kind of rock yourself up. Try to stay in that peaceful presence here as we prepare for our meditation. If you would like to put that, a blanket, a pillow, a block underneath you to give you that little lift, you can do that as well. Finding whatever seat works for you. So we're going to take the hands, women, females, we are going to take the left hand in the right. So your right hand is on the bottom, left hand is on top. And kind of crossing the index fingers right where the first knuckle is. So you're going to place the palms together, palms are open.
index finger knuckles crossing. And then we're gonna take the thumbs, the tips of the thumbs, and place them together. And we're just gonna let the hands rest like this, but we wanna keep the arms or the hands lifted. So between kind of navel center and heart center, just hovering. We don't wanna get too super soft. That's gonna create this rounding through the spine. And we want the spine to be nice and tall. That helps to bring that channeling energy upward. So palms together, or palms on top of each other, left hand for women, thumbs touch, close the eyes, palms hovering between navel and heart, and just breathe. So the left side of our body is the feminine side. That's kind of that soft water, moon, emotional side. The right side, the masculine, the fire, the sun, the critical thinking. The thumbs represent our earth element, also the ego, and not the conceited being that we associate with the word ego, but ego as in the conscious mind, the active mind. So we're finding this balance. This is the mudra for creating balance in both sides of the body so that we can get to a neutral mind. And when we talk about neutral mind, it's hard to have a neutral mind when the right or left side is being completely dominant. So this helps to balance that out. As you're sitting here in this stillness, slow, deep breaths, take note of the feeling of the bottom hand, the upper hand. Is one being more dominant than the other? Take note of your right thumb, your left thumb. Take note of your breath. Again, without attachment, just awareness, just recognizing. And of course, whichever side of us is more dominant constantly changes. There's times when we need to be more of the feminine, more of that moon, that softness. There's times when we need to be more of that masculine, that fire. And that's totally okay. There is no wrong or right here. But I'm pretty sure that most people would like to have a neutral mind that allows for peace, that allows for us to kind of calm that internal dialogue. I'm sure every one of us can relate to times and situations where we literally feel like we're being pulled in two directions. One side of us says we should do this, one side says the complete opposite. And finding that neutral ground is pretty difficult. And so with all the energy we just went through, the eclipse, lunar and solar, full moon, Mercury retrograde, we've been kind of pulled a little bit stronger in each direction. And a lot of people weren't even quite sure why or what was going on. And there's no need to change that. As we practice awareness, we can just sit in it a little bit easier without fighting it. Instead of letting go, letting it be. Sometimes we attach ourselves so much to this idea of letting something go, and then we've put it in a category of being wrong. And it's hard to move on when we're stuck in this place of being wrong. So if we can just accept whatever it is for what it is, then we can start writing the story. We can start recreating those relationships. We can start moving forward, leaving behind, which I know sounds like letting go, but without that negative attachment. If you have a relationship or a situation in your life that isn't serving you, absolutely, move forward, let it go, let it be. But don't get caught up in that negative conversation, that negative story, because that's still then just attachment. That's still not letting it go. Letting it go means completely with peace, sending it love, sending it light, and you being able to move on, you freeing yourself from that hold that whatever that negative thing has over you. And that's when we come to neutral mind. So we're going to go ahead and open up the thumbs first. Place the hands on top of the knees, palms facing up. And so this is a gesture of, this is saying to the universe, the universal intelligent, I am open and receptive. And so we get to be open and receptive to all the gifts, all that we are creating, all that we're manifesting, all that we're asking for, all that we're inviting into our lives. We'll bring the hands to heart. Again, another hand mudra, Anjali mudra, that represents that balance. So fingertips, palms, pressing equally against each other right at the heart center. Take a moment, notice one side, notice the other. See if you can almost blend them into each other, coming right into that center line of balance. We'll bring the hands to the forehead, give thanks to ourselves for right and loving thoughts. Bring hands to the mouth, thanks to ourselves for right and loving speech, for using the right words to set the intentions, for using the right words to create the manifestations that we're trying to bring, to use the right words to say peacefully our goodbyes to those things no longer serving us. Bringing the hands to the heart, that place of unconditional love, unconditional kindness and compassion. And give thanks to ourselves for right and loving intentions. The light within me salutes and honors the light within you. May our practice of yoga, being present, being aware, meditation, help to bring and maintain that balance within ourselves. Namaste.